special speaker. So let's bring Mr. Brother Sam Dixon.
What's that? I know, it's a gift. There we go. I like that. There we go. All right. Well, hello. We're good. All right. Praise the Lord, everybody.
Praise the Lord.
How's everybody doing?
We're wonderful.
I'm doing this for my wife. She said I need to look at each and every one of you when I'm speaking. Look around, make sure they're all smiling at me. And they're all looking. Make sure they're not texting, yes. Alright, so, who has their Bibles? See, iPads, tablets, phones. Thank you very much, sir. Let me shake your hand. He has actually got a physical Bible. Ah, that's right. Your dad told me. He said make sure that you have your Bibles because he don't like those Bibles. All right, so Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 10. Can we turn there, please? Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 10. When you get there, let me know. Say, praise the Lord when you get there.
Praise the Lord.
Four, 9 through 10. All right. 4, 9 through 10. We're good? All right. Shh. It says, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the other one will lift up his fellow. But woe unto him that is alone when he falleth. For if he hath not another to help him up. You pray for me, Brother Orings.
Lord Jesus, Lord, we ask that you would bless this message tonight, God, that you bless the lips of Brother Sam Dixon, oh Lord God, that we would just, God, whether we be convicted or learn from this message, oh Lord God, we just ask that you just have your way in our lives, God, that we would see more of your word, Lord God, because the word is you, oh Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Good, be seated. So, I have a question. What is a friend? What is a friend? Well, in these verses that we read, we just found out that it's someone that would help you labor and help you through troubled times. That's what this verse is talking about. It's someone that'll be there for you. Well, I have a best friend, my wife. She's there for me whenever I need anything. I mean, if I'm down and out, she's there for me. When I have any kind of problems, she's always there for me. She's always there to help lift me up and make me feel better about just any problems that I have. So I look up the word friend in the dictionary, and it's a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive of physical or family relations. So it's someone that's usually not related to you. They got a lot of different words for it: soulmate, confidant, alter ego, best friend, kindred spirit, homeboy, homegirl, homie, dog, gal, pal, BF, BFF, my peeps. These usually have a lot of different. We have a lot of different types of friends. All of us do. We have really, really close friends that we can tell the most intimate of things to, our deepest secrets. And then there's some friends that are just, acquaintances, the people that you come by every day, and it's like, hey, how's it going? How you doing? Those kind of people. In my life, I've only had probably only a few really close and best friends. And the thing is, you got to remember, is even those close and best friends will fail you at one point or another, and you will fail them. And it's just being human. Because side note, one thing that you must always remember, though, is that there's only one thing you can take with you to heaven. One thing. What's that one thing? What we used to teach our Sunday school kids this all the time when we were in Sunday school. There's only one thing you can take to heaven with you. You can't take your cars, your money, or anything. What can you take? Does anybody have an answer for it? What? You can take friends, family. These are the only things you can take with you. These are the only things you can take with you. A true friend will listen to you. He will respect you. He'll walk with you, just like God will walk with you. One of the best gifts you can give a friend that's not in the church is Jesus. That's one of the best things. It's one of the best gifts you can ever give somebody. It's okay to be friendly to people that aren't in the church. Your best friends should actually be in the church, because they know they're walking the same walk as you're walking. They know the same things you're going through, and they understand your struggles. A lot of times your friends at school might not understand that. But again, you could share this message with them, and they can come to know Jesus, and then they can join with you in that same walk. In 1 John it talks about this a little bit. It says in 1 John 1, 5 through 7, "This then is the message which we have heard of him, and declared unto him, that God is the light, and in him is no darkness at all. If we say that we have no fellowship with him, and we walk in darkness, we lie, and do not the truth. But if we walk in the light, as he is the light, we will have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus Christ, his Son, cleanseth us from all sin." So, we're walking with God, and God is the light. We can't walk in the darkness. We shouldn't be doing that, because that's the world. The darkness is the world. I actually have an example of that today. I was working, and I was thinking about this message a little bit, and I was working on a machine, and I had a trouble light off to one side, and I didn't have it with me, but I had to reach in and grab some things out. This machine was really dark inside of there, so I was reaching in, trying to grab some things that were inside of there, and I pulled my hand out. My hand was just absolutely dirty. Now, if I would have had that light, I could have shined the light on that dirt and found out what was in there, and I could have probably reached in there and came out clean. So, I mean, when you're walking in darkness and you're walking in this world, you're going to pick up things when you're walking in the darkness, because you can't see where you're stepping. You can't see what you're reaching for. So you might come out with some dirt. You might come out with some sin. That's why when you keep walking in the light, walking with Jesus, he can shine the light on that sin that's out there and that thing that's in your way, and he can keep you from that. Now, having worldly friends isn't a bad thing. It's not, it's not like you shouldn't do it. I mean, don't take this the wrong way. It's not. But again, best friends you should have are in the church. And I had a lot of worldly friends when I was younger. I didn't hang out with a lot of church people, and I have a lot of stories I could tell you about how close, personal. I mean, like my best friends let me down. I mean, one instance was when I ended up going to jail. I had talked about this before. One of my best friends is actually the one that actually turned me in. And it was like, I couldn't believe that this would be my best friend would have done something like this to me. But, you know, it happened. And again, people will fail you. It's part of life, and it's not something we look forward to. But again, we will fail others as well. Now, I need to tell you the sad truth, though, about some things. I'm sure you already know. Not everyone that calls you their friend is really your friend. I mean, like I was just telling you. Even in the church, and that's a big issue with a lot of people. You know, your close friends in your church think you can come to church and everything's going to be great. But sometimes friends in church will even fail you. Not everyone that calls themselves Christians are actually Christians either. The real problem, how we come to church, like I said, thinking that everyone's going to love us and everything's going to be great. Not everyone has the same walking in the same path as you. Not everyone is in the same place with God as you. I'm not in the same level with God as you or you. We're all in different places. So a lot of people that they're out for themselves, and we need to realize that that Jesus is the only one that's going to really be there for you when it comes through thick and thin, through anything that's happening. We need to watch out that we don't get caught up in gossip and backbiting. That is another thing that happens when you'll find out what your real true friends are. In 1 Peter 4:15 through 16, it tells us what God thinks about gossip. It says, "But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God on his behalf." So the Bible talks about gossip as it's just as bad as being a murderer or a thief. I mean, that's how bad it is. It's not like it's some we're just talking about so and so, and it's not a big deal. To God, it's a very, very big deal. But it also says that if you suffer as a Christian, one who's walking right with God, that we don't need to worry about these things. Just keep the faith and keep moving forward. Sometimes people will gossip and just plain lash out at you. And a lot of times when people lash out at you, it's because they're feeling convicted. Because a lot of times when you're walking with God correctly, and they see that, it shines a light onto their issues and their problems. And a lot of times you'll get a lot of flack for that. People will be like, "Oh, I'm wearing your dress, or you dress in this way," and they'll get on you because they start feeling conviction in their hearts because Jesus is shining through you. Now in Proverbs 18:24, it says, "A man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and that there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother." So I'll paraphrase it a little bit. It says, "He that maketh many friends doeth it to his own destruction, but there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother." In other words, if you have a lot of friends, you actually give yourself a lot of opportunity to have a lot of problems with them, a lot of problems with people. Having a lot of friends isn't bad. It's not a bad thing. But the Bible's just telling us that it can make us have hard times, things that, having all these friends could, you have to please a lot of people. If you have a lot of friends, you have to take care of all of their needs. You have to listen to them because you want to be a close friend, and it just can bring a lot of problems to you. So after reading this, I got a little curious. So last night I got really curious. I'm thinking, well, I wonder how many friends I really have. I mean, I really just sitting thinking about it. I'm like, I know I have some really close friends, but how many friends do I really have? So I thought about it. I'm like, how can I find this out? And of course, the only place you can really find out how many friends you really have is Facebook, right? So I opened up Facebook and I found out I have 203 friends. Now I thought, wow, I got a lot of friends. This is great. I mean, people really like me. I mean, I got 200. I mean, when I was in school, I had maybe like 2 or 3 real close friends and maybe a dozen that were, friends, you would hang out with. But I was like, 203 friends, that's awesome. And I thought that was really cool. Until I started looking at my friends and noticing that there was another one that had 400 friends. And I was like, well okay, that's not so bad. And then I looked again and there was another one that had over 500. And I was like, all right, my 200 isn't something that's so good anymore. And then I looked at another was over 1,000. And then another with over 3,000, and another with over 5,000 friends on Facebook. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not really that popular. I guess I'm not, people must not like me that much. I don't have 5,000, probably have 203. So I was actually thinking about it, and I didn't have that many friends after all, I guess, so. But while I was looking through my friends list, I was reading some of the comments. And this is where it got really serious for me. I read of disparity and loneliness and fear. And I could see these people, these friends of mine on Facebook, crying out for help. And then I looked how many friends some of these people had on Facebook. One of them was going through some real hard times. And they had over 1,000 friends on Facebook. How many people commented on it? A couple, saying, oh, everything will be all right. 1,000 friends on Facebook. 1,000. And that's all that really was there for him, was a couple. Maybe, at one point, maybe half a dozen. And then another person I was reading about, they had over 1,500 friends. And they felt like friends aren't always going to be there for them. They actually said, and I'm quoting it, some friends aren't meant to last. And the sad thing is that's true. Friends, it won't always last forever. But remember in Proverbs 18:24, when I was reading a little bit earlier, it says that there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. And who is that friend? It's Jesus. It's God. He's there. He will always be there for you. John 16:32-33. Behold, the hour cometh, yea, is now come, that ye shall be scattered, every man to his own, and shall leave me alone. And yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So again, he's telling us how he will be there for us. And that he's overcome this world. And so if he's overcome everything that's out there, that is the best friend to have over anybody, because he's telling you, I'm going to be there for you. And I've already dealt with all these things, and I'm going to be there to comfort you and help you through all of them. There's nothing that God can't answer through His Word, because He loves us and He will always be there for us. And I know there's a lot of people in here that are they're going through hard times. I mean, I go through issues every day. I'm actually going through one right now. And it's not necessarily my problem, but it is, because I care about each and every one of you. There's things that are going to come against you, and I want you guys to remember that no matter what comes your way, that there are youth leaders that are here that you can call at any time. Anytime. I mean, in the middle of the night, if you feel that you need someone to talk to, you need help. Not only can you call on God, but you can call on us. We will be there for you. We have a burden for all of you. And we want to be that good friend for you as well. Because, again, this world isn't going to be there for you. I mean, I saw it over and over again with some of these people. Over thousands of friends, and Who's there for them? Nobody. But Jesus is there for you. And I want you to know that we, my wife, the Oramuses, even our youth helpers, we've got a youth leader group. What are we calling you guys now?
Team.
The team, the youth team. You know, we will be there for you guys. If you need someone to talk to, we're an ear that will listen. And we'll help you and do whatever it takes to see you guys through and through anything that you guys go through. Just remember, you guys are not alone. You have a group of youth here as well that is all here to help. Because we're all going through the same struggles. You guys are all young, you're going through school issues and maybe starting work issues, things like that. And you all deal with the same struggles. I've dealt with those struggles, and I still do. But again, just remember, I can't stress it enough. We will always be there for you guys. Just a phone call away, or if we're in the same, just come talk to us, pull us aside and say, hey, we need to talk, I need to talk. Something's bothering me. And we will do whatever it takes to be there for you guys. All right? I love each and every one of you, and I thank you for making the effort to even come to church. I mean, a lot of kids, they think, oh, I want to go to church on Wednesday, I can stay home and watch TV or play video games, you know. But you guys want to be here. You want to be with your church friends, your church family. And I appreciate each and every one of you, even the ones in the front that like to chit-chat. We love all you guys.
It's not just me.
Right?